What if I told you the most devastating way to win any argument, to command respect in any room, to utterly defeat an opponent, is to say absolutely nothing? It may sound like a cheap Jedi mind trick, right? But this isn't some pop psychology hack. This is a weapon forged in the mind of one of history's most terrifying and brilliant thinkers, Friedrich Nietzsche. We're not talking about just staying quiet. We're talking about cultivating a silence so powerful, so dense with meaning, that it becomes more potent than any word you could ever speak. Today, we're diving deep into the abyss with the philosopher who wielded a hammer. We're going to unpack his radical blueprint for personal power and uncover the 3 pillars of silent dominion. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just look at silence the same way. You'll look at yourself in a whole new light. Let's get into it. Pillar 1. Become the master of your own chaos. Before you can even think about influencing the world around you, Nietzsche demands that you turn your gaze inward into your own personal chaos. He famously wrote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." What does he mean by that? Look around. Most people are not in control of themselves. They are puppets, and their emotions are the strings. Someone insults them, they lash out in anger. Someone praises them, they puff up with pride. They are completely reactive. Their inner world is a storm of insecurities, anxieties, and unexamined desires. They are, in a word, weak, and their weakness leaks out of them constantly. They fill silences with nervous chatter because they can't stand to be alone with their own thoughts. They argue desperately because their ego is so fragile it needs constant external validation. The first step to silent victory is to sever those strings. It's about confronting your own abyss. You have to look at your fears, your pettiness, your rage, your shame, all the ugly, monstrous parts of you that you pretend aren't there, and you have to master them. This isn't about suppression. It's not about pretending you don't feel anger. It's about feeling that fire rise within you, looking it straight in the eye, and choosing not to be consumed by it. This is the practice of radical self-discipline. So, how does this manifest as a silent weapon? Imagine you're in a tense negotiation. The other person is getting loud, emotional, trying to provoke you to knock you off balance. They are throwing their chaos at you, hoping it will infect you. But you've already faced the real monster inside yourself. Their little tantrum is child's play. You remain still. Your breathing is steady. Your posture is relaxed but solid. You don't get defensive. You don't flinch. You simply hold their gaze with a calm, unwavering presence. In that moment, who has all the power? Your silence isn't empty. It's full. It's full of self-control. It communicates without a single word. Your storm cannot touch me. I am the eye of the hurricane. This kind of composure is profoundly unnerving to those who are slaves to their own impulses. They are trying to fight you, but you've refused to even enter the battlefield. You've already won by demonstrating that you are in complete command of the one thing they aren't, yourself. Pillar 2. Forge your own values. Now, once you've begun to master your inner world, the next stage is even more profound. Nietzsche's most explosive idea is arguably that of the Übermensch or the Overman. This isn't a Superman in a cape. It's an individual who has overcome the human condition of simply following the herd. Most of us operate on what Nietzsche called herd morality. We absorb our values from our parents, our culture, our religion, our social media feeds. We do things because they are good and avoid things because they are bad. without ever truly interrogating why. We seek approval, we fear judgment, and we walk the well-trodden path. The person who creates their own values is a different species entirely. This is someone who has looked at the world's prepackaged moralities and said, "No, I will decide for myself what is noble, what is right, what has meaning." They build their life around a powerful, self-defined purpose. They have a why that fuels them. How does this translate to silent power? A person living by their own code emits an aura of authenticity and direction that is magnetic. They don't need to tell you what they believe in. Their actions are a testament to their convictions. They move with purpose. When they work, they are focused. When they listen, they are present. They aren't swayed by office gossip or fleeting trends because their internal compass is fixed on their own North Star. Think about the person in your life who you deeply respect. Chances are they aren't the loudest person in the room. They aren't the one constantly bragging or seeking attention. They are the one who has a quiet, unshakable integrity. Their character is their argument. When you embody this principle, you stop playing the low-stakes games of social status that everyone else is trapped in. Someone tries to belittle your work. It doesn't sting because your sense of worth isn't derived from their approval. You're playing a bigger game, your own. Someone dangles a shiny object of social approval in front of you. You don't bite because you're nourished by your own purpose. Your silence becomes a reflection of this inner alignment. It says, "I know who I am and I know where I am going." Your games, your drama, your attempts to pull me into the mud, they are irrelevant. This isn't arrogance. It's a deep, quiet confidence that people can feel. They may not understand it, but they are forced to respect it. You defeat their attempts to manipulate or diminish you simply by operating on a higher plane that they can't reach. Pillar 3. Embrace the eternal recurrence. This last pillar is Nietzsche's ultimate stress test, a philosophical nuke that vaporizes all that is trivial. It's a thought experiment he called the eternal recurrence. He asks you to imagine this. A demon creeps into your loneliest loneliness and says to you, "This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. Every pain and every joy and every thought and sigh will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence." Your reaction to this idea, Nietzsche says, determines everything. Would you throw yourself down, gnash your teeth, and curse the demon? Or would you say, "You are a god and never have I heard anything more divine"? The goal is to live in such a way, to act with such courage, love, and meaning, that you would joyfully will the eternal repetition of every single moment. Now, how in the world is this a tool for defeating someone? Because it instantly reframes every conflict. That infuriating email from your boss, that passive-aggressive comment from a relative, that public disagreement where your ego is on the line. You hold it up to the flame of eternal recurrence and you ask the ultimate question. Is this moment worthy of being repeated for all eternity? Is this petty squabble something you want to be a permanent, recurring feature of your existence? The answer, 99.9% of the time, is a resounding no. This perspective grants you an almost superhuman level of detachment. It's not apathy. It's the wisdom to distinguish the monumental from the trivial. When someone tries to drag you into a pointless conflict, you see it for what it is. A fleeting, meaningless distraction from the life you are trying to build. A life worthy of eternity. And so, you respond with silence. This isn't a defeated silence. It's a transcendent silence. It's the silence of a mountain being yelled at by a hiker. The mountain doesn't care. The hiker's anger is insignificant to its geological timescale. Your silence communicates, I am focused on things of eternal importance. This is dust. There is no counter-argument to this. How can someone defeat a person who refuses to play their insignificant game? They can't. They are left shouting into a void, their powerlessness exposed for all to see. You have won by making the battle itself absurd. So, let's bring it all together. The Nietzschean path to silent victory isn't a simple tactic. It's a profound transformation of the self. You first master your inner chaos, becoming a fortress of calm in a reactive world. Then, you forge your own values, operating with a purpose that makes you immune to herd manipulation. And finally, you adopt the perspective of eternal recurrence, which elevates you above the trivial conflicts that consume most people's lives. You see, the ultimate secret is that this was never about defeating someone else. That's just the byproduct. The real war is, and always was, against the weaker, more reactive, more fearful version of yourself. The final victory Nietzsche teaches is the victory of self-overcoming. When you achieve that, your very presence becomes your argument. Your character becomes your shield. And your silence becomes your victory speech. You become someone who is simply beyond defeat. This is heavy stuff, I know. This isn't a 5-minute fix. It's a lifelong project of forging your own soul. But it's a path to a kind of strength most people can't even imagine. If you're on that journey of building a stronger, more authentic self, then hit that subscribe button and join our community of thinkers. We go deep on these ideas every single week. And now, I have a question for you. Which of these 3 Nietzschean pillars, mastering your chaos, creating your own values, or embracing the eternal perspective, resonates with you the most in your life right now? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm genuinely curious to know what you're working on. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and build something worthy of eternity.